Hello, everyone. Welcome to a new episode of Chasing Spirituality. I am your host, Megan, if you're new here. And today I'm really excited. And I know that I always say I'm excited, but I'm really excited about this particular episode because I just sometimes when I record episodes, I get this feeling from spirit where there is this urgency to the message. And that's how I feel about this episode. And I know you guys probably can tell the difference when it's just so powerful and so juicy. Those make the best episodes. So, probably some of your favorite episodes. And what inspired this was actually an email that I received from one of you, from one of the listeners. And so, I'm going to read the email so that we can all be on the same page. But we're going to be talking more in depth about clairsentience. So, I'll start with the email. For as long as I can remember, I've felt chills. It's mostly as a reaction to something, like if I read or see something that really resonates, I feel it. If I read or see something that really resonates, I feel it. When the music I'm listening to is so good, it almost feels like a spiritual experience. It's actually when I feel it most. I also grew up playing classical instruments. Or if I encounter some event that's somehow significant for me, I feel it. A lot of times it's during my meditation sittings. On one of my ayahuasca sessions, I got this big download, which now I think was claircognizance. And during that download, I had chills all over my body, all throughout the download, just this constant buzzing. Sometimes I could even manifest it of my own volition, which I guess isn't strictly a clairsentience thing, but if this has anything to do with what clairsentience really is, I still don't quite know if it's possible to translate them into any kind of actionable knowledge. Like you mentioned in your episode, I wouldn't be surprised if this is something that everyone has felt at some point or other. I'd love to know if you have any thoughts around this area. And the question that they put at the top is, how do you translate clairsentience into an actionable knowledge? And how do you train your mind to better tap into claircognizance that sometimes comes with clairsentience? So I feel like this is a really great question for me specifically to answer because these are the two gifts that I use all the time. All the time. Yes, I have started to see more. So I've started seeing flashes of images. And I do hear sometimes, but I very rarely hear. And I've realized the reason for this, and it's because it's a huge drain on my energy. I don't know why. I don't know specifics of that. Maybe it's just where I'm at on a vibrational level. If I had to go with my gut, that's what my gut's telling me. I haven't really looked into it, to be honest, though, or felt into that. But the two I use around the clock is clairsentience and claircognizance. Clairsentience is a tricky one to figure out because, what am I supposed to do with these sensations? What do these sensations mean? So, to summarize, for the most part, I think of when you feel full body chills and there's no external factor for it. It's normally your intuition, your higher self, your spirit team. It's getting your attention. Maybe it's giving you just letting you know that they're there, just letting you know that you're on the right path, letting you know that something's going to happen. Sometimes in the beginning, especially when we're learning more about our clairsentience, that's all it is. Now, it's when you start to pay more attention to that feeling, that's when you can use it to tap into your claircognizance to give you a response. This kind of happens with practice and over time. There's a few things that you can do that can really help with that. And one is being really aware of your body. So in meditation, what I like to do, there's a few different exercises that you can do. A lot of people like to do sitting in the power. It's called sitting in the power. There's tons of guided meditations on it. but it helps you get familiar with what your energy feels like, what your own energy feels like. And so as you do that, you expand your own energy and you allow certain other energies into your field. So I like to say I can give myself, with my own energy, full body chills when I meditate. But if I expand that a little bit further, I then welcome in my spirit team and my spirit guides, and it just feels, for me, it feels stronger. That's the best way to describe it. But let's say you wanted to get really specific with what a particular energy feels like. You can keep raising that and you can say, hey, show me what angels feel like in my body. Show me what a loved one who has passed away feels like in my body. This can really help you with your mediumship development, because sometimes that's the hardest part, is nailing down who's coming through, especially if you channel all kinds of beings, loved ones on the other side, angels, galactic, whatever. So sometimes that's the hardest part, is determining what's coming through, what kind of energy is coming through. And I like to say that the most frequent energy that we tap into, that we know what it feels like, is our own energy and then spirit team. So just start paying attention to what these different energies feel like as they come through. And you can ask them, show me what this feels like. And then sometimes when you take that even further, it stops just feeling like energy, and you may start to notice that you feel it on one side of your body. Maybe when you connect to loved ones, they always show up on the right side of your body. Or maybe loved ones always make the lower parts of your body tingle instead of the upper. You'll start to, the more you practice, the more awareness you have around your own feelings, because your feelings are going to be different from my feelings and from anyone else. The more you understand what certain things mean, and it at least gives you a clue to where, once you have that clue, claircognizance takes off. Claircognizance is smart. It doesn't need a lot of feeding. So you'll start to instantly receive that information that you need. Oh, I don't know how I know this, but this is Archangel Gabriel. I just knew. And it's because you're getting more familiar with both of your gifts. They work simultaneously. So the more that you get in tune with your personal feelings, how energy responds to you, how certain things you interact with feel to you, then your claircognizance grows. And this doesn't have to just be connecting to spirit or to spirits or the spirit realm. This is like with your psychic stuff too. You know, everything has a frequency. Everything has a vibrational frequency. Every emotion, every place, every person, everyone and everything has a frequency. So if you start getting a feeling from someone, let's say, you know, you meet this person and you get this feeling that you really, really like them and they remind you of your brother. Well, maybe it's because your brother and that person have a lot in common on an energetic level. So you can immediately start getting an idea of maybe that person's life, how they've lived, what their personality is like, maybe some of their wounds and stuff, because their energies match. So you can start really paying attention to things like that, because the claircognizance is what sent you your brother, right? That sent you the image of, hey, this person reminds me of my brother. But you got the feeling first. You felt that person's energy. And you can do that with anything and everything that you're around. And you can practice that by saying, you know, show me what this energy feels like. Or you can even say, if you can tell your body what you want it to do as well. You can say, hey, if this happens, I want to feel something in my big toe. You know, like you can tell your body where you would like to feel the energy. It's really yours. It's your unique gifts. And so that's why I love talking about the clairs and our intuitive senses. But it's also one of the most difficult things to talk about, because everyone's is going to work differently. And it really takes a lot of trust in yourself to work on that, to work on when you just get that knowing from the claircognizance because of an energy that was familiar to you. Sometimes you second guess it. So that's going to be the biggest hurdle with turning this into a practice and turning this into development, is getting over that hurdle. You don't have to share what your intuitive feelings are, but if you're not sharing them with someone, and you don't have to share them with who they involve, but maybe you have like a close friend or someone that you can kind of share some of those thoughts and things that come up. If you don't journal them, write them down, so that you can go back when you're right and say, oh wow, I was right, that person was pregnant and I was feeling like their energy was different. And maybe you didn't even realize that you were predicting that they were pregnant. Maybe you just realized their energy was off, or it was really chaotic, or it just felt weird. You still picked up on that. And then guess what? That's a note. That's a note for you to add. Hey, maybe the next time when I feel that same energy, maybe that it means that person is pregnant. And that's how you create this development. So that's my best advice, I think. And I think I answered that question. However, beautiful listener, if I did not answer your question, or that just prompted more questions, or if the rest of you have other questions about clairsentience or claircognizance or anything, please email me, because I love these kind of episodes. I feel like they're very inspired and they come at the right time. And so feel free to email me your questions. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure you share it with someone you love. And if you haven't done so already, I would really appreciate it if you would rate and review the podcast. It means the world to me, and I love reading all of the reviews. So I hope you all have a wonderful day. I'll see you on the next one.